All right, today we're diving into a story that starts with a really shocking public crime, but what's incredible is how it was solved. It wasn't just about police work, it all came down to a family's terrible secret and a truly impossible choice.
So I want you to picture this. You're on a university campus, right? Thousands of people are there for an event. The energy is high. And then, out of nowhere, bam, 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 3 loud bangs. Everything just stops.
Okay, so to really get how this whole thing unraveled, we got to start at the beginning. Let's look at the attack itself.
So we're at Utah Valley University. You've got about 3,000 people there for a speech. And then, bang, the shots ring out, the speech just cuts off, and what was a totally normal public event just explodes into pure chaos and panic. People are running, scrambling, just trying to get somewhere safe.
And the person speaking at that very moment, that was Charlie Kirk. He's a well-known conservative activist, really known for speaking to younger crowds. And just to give you a sense of his profile, his influence was even recognized by former President Donald Trump.
You know, as the police started digging into this, one thing became crystal clear, and fast. This was no random act of violence. No way. This was a planned, targeted assassination.
Get this, the shooter was perched on a rooftop, high above the crowd, about 150 yards away. I mean, what a vantage point. From there, a shot hits Charlie Kirk in the neck, and he died right there at the scene. And of course, in today's world, a gruesome video of it all went viral almost instantly, spreading that horror all across the country.
An attack this public? This brazen? Well, it kicked off a massive response. The focus immediately became, find who did this. And that launched one of the biggest manhunts the state of Utah had ever seen.
And when I say massive, I mean it. The scale of this thing was just immense. We're not talking just local cops here. We're talking more than 20 different law enforcement agencies. Even the FBI got involved. All of them working together in this huge, coordinated effort to find the shooter.
And you can really see the intensity just by looking at the numbers. The manhunt went on for more than 30 straight, grueling hours. The public response was incredible. Authorities were flooded with over 7,000 tips. And the stakes? They got so high that a $100,000 reward was put on the table for any information that led to an arrest.
So this is what the police told the public to look out for. The suspect? He was wearing a black t-shirt with an eagle and an American flag on it, dark sunglasses, and a baseball cap. They even had video of him jumping off the roof right after the shot and then just vanishing into some woods nearby. But even with this massive effort, the investigation started hitting some serious roadblocks. Pretty early on, they brought in 2 different people for questioning, but nope, it wasn't them. They were released. And for a little while there, it really looked like the trail was going cold. And this is where the story just takes a wild turn. The big break in the case? It wasn't going to come from a dramatic police raid or some random tip from a stranger. Nope. It was going to come from inside a quiet house, miles and miles away from the crime scene. Think about it. The whole country is on the lookout for this guy, but the actual key to solving the whole mystery, it was about to be found by someone who wasn't even looking. So, way down in southern Utah, hundreds of miles away, a father is watching the news, just like everybody else. He sees that grainy footage of the suspect running, but as he's watching, the way the guy moves, his build, something clicks. A terrifyingly familiar feeling, and this cold, sinking dread just starts to wash over him. He knew he had to do the unthinkable. He had to ask. He goes to his 22-year-old son, Tyler Robinson, and you can just imagine his voice shaking as he asks the one question that would change everything. Tyler, is this you? This looks like you. And what came after that question? Well, it was a quiet confession that threw this family right into the middle of an impossible moral crisis. There was no hesitation. Tyler just looked at his dad and admitted it all. Yep, he was the guy. The person the entire country was looking for. He was the shooter.
And just like that, the family is in an impossible spot. For the father, the right thing to do was obvious. He tells him, "You have to turn yourself in, son. It's the right thing to do." But Tyler's response? It's a terrifying threat. I would rather kill myself than turn myself in. So now what do? They were completely trapped between doing what's right and potentially losing their son forever. The family was just paralyzed, caught in this agonizing back and forth. But a secret like this, a secret this big, it can't stay hidden forever. Somebody had to make a choice.
So while the dad was desperately trying to get Tyler to talk to a youth pastor they trusted, a friend of the family, who was in on the secret, just couldn't wait any longer. Realizing just how serious this was, this friend made what has to be one of the bravest and most heartbreaking decisions ever. They picked up the phone and called the sheriff's office.
And that single phone call, it was the key that unlocked the entire case. Suddenly, investigators had the one thing they'd been missing, a name, Tyler Robinson. With a name, they could go back and check surveillance video, and boom, there's his Dodge Challenger arriving at the university. All that physical evidence they found on the roof, the palm prints, that shoe print, suddenly they had a suspect to match it to. They even found messages on Discord where he was talking about the exact kind of rifle used in the shooting. It was like dominoes falling. One by one, every single clue just clicked right into place.
The very next morning, everyone finally got the news they've been waiting for. Governor Spencer Cox steps up to a podium for a press conference, and his words brought a wave of relief across the entire state. He just said, "We got him." And just like that, the manhunt was over.
And that's really the most incredible part of this story, isn't it? This huge 30-hour search with thousands of tips and hundreds of officers, it didn't end with a high-speed chase or some big standoff. It ended quietly, all because a family facing a burden you and I can't even imagine chose to do the right thing.
And that just leaves us with this huge, profound question, doesn't it? There's absolutely no easy answer here. It's a question this family had to face in the most painful way imaginable. Where does a parent's love end, and where does their duty begin?